All right, today we're going to talk about something that's often overlooked in real estate marketing, but honestly, it's a total game changer. We're talking about the humble floor plan, and we're going to break down exactly why it's your listing's secret weapon. So, when you think about any great listing, it really boils down to two things. You've got your photos, right? Their job is to show the beauty, the style, the vibe. They make you fall in love. But then you've got floor plans, and their job is all about function, how the space actually works. Now, when you put those two together, that beauty and that function, that's where the magic really happens. You give potential buyers the one thing they're desperately looking for, a clear sense of how a home actually lives. It stops being just a bunch of pretty pictures and starts feeling like a place they could actually call home. Okay, but what happens when that function piece is missing? Well, that's where we run into a big problem, something we call the buyer confidence gap. It's this invisible wall that stops someone who's interested from actually taking that next step and booking a showing. Let's really put ourselves in the buyer's shoes for a second. Today's buyers are busy, they're savvy, they're scrolling, they see your gorgeous photos, they like the price, but then they just stop. What is it? What really stops them from clicking that button? 9 times out of 10, the answer is just plain uncertainty. They've got all these little questions buzzing in their head. Will my giant sectional even fit in that living room? How does the kitchen actually connect to the dining area? They start worrying about the flow. And those little doubts, they're more than enough to make them give up and scroll right on to the next listing. And that is exactly where floor plans come in to save the day. See, a floor plan isn't just a diagram. It's a blueprint for a buyer's potential future. It's probably the single best tool we have to build their trust and completely close that confidence gap. Think about it like this. A floor plan takes this abstract idea of a house and makes it feel real in the buyer's mind. It's the practical tool that lets them mentally arrange their own stuff, walk through their morning coffee routine, and really truly start picturing their life happening inside those walls. This all comes down to a really key idea: the flow. A good floor plan gives buyers a totally trustworthy preview of how the whole home connects, answering all those little nagging questions before they even have a chance to ask them. When you give them that kind of clarity right up front, your listing just feels smarter, more transparent. But here's the thing that's so cool about floor plans. They don't just work on their own. They're like a marketing amplifier. They make every other piece of your marketing, well, better. Let me show you what I mean. Let's break that down. You take your beautiful photos and you add a floor plan. Boom, now they have context. The buyer knows exactly where that photo was taken from. You add a floor plan to your video walkthrough. Now it's not just a video, it's a guided tour. And with a 3D virtual tour, the floor plan is like your anchor, your map, letting buyers explore with confidence instead of getting lost. When you put all that together, the feeling you create is just so powerful. Your listing doesn't just look good, it feels professional, it feels complete, and most of all, it feels honest. Buyers absolutely pick up on that. You're building trust before you've even met them. Now, this all sounds great in theory, right? But let's look at some real-world proof. We've got a quick case study from New Bedford, Massachusetts, that shows just how big the return on this can be. So here's the deal. There was an investor, and he was having a tough time filling his rental properties. He had decent photos, good listings, but he just wasn't getting enough serious applicants. The units were sitting empty, and that's just money down the drain. So he made one simple change. Just one. He started adding floor plans to his listings. And the result? A 2 times increase in qualified tenant interest. Double! He doubled the number of serious prospects just from that one little thing. So why such a huge jump? Well, the feedback from the tenants tells the whole story. They kept saying the same thing. The floor plan helped us picture our daily routines. It just took all the guesswork out of it and let them connect with the space on a practical, everyday level. And you know what that means, right? It translated directly into real business results. More showings led to faster applications, which, of course, led to lower vacancy rates. Now that is an ROI you can take to the bank. It just speaks for itself. So let's bring this all home. If there's one single thing you walk away with from all this, it should be this very simple, very powerful idea. And that idea is this: clarity creates confidence. It's that simple. When you give buyers total clarity about a property's layout, you're not just giving them information, you're giving them power. You're erasing their doubts and replacing them with confidence. And look, clarity isn't just about dimensions and facts. It's a feeling. It's the bridge that helps a person go from just being interested in a listing to feeling confident enough to say, I need to see this place now. And that leaves us with one last question, a question for you to think about with your own marketing. Take a hard look and ask yourself, is your listing just showing a house, a collection of rooms and features? Or is it using tools like a floor plan to truly show a potential home, a place where someone can confidently see their future?